Hey, good morning. This is part 2 of the video from yesterday. What I have here is some of the Tinder samples that I collected yesterday. I have the punkwood. I have the Douglas fir fatwood, and I also have the red cedar bark kind of over here. So what my plan is, and I also collected this small jar of resin. You can see some really beautiful pieces in there, and it's really hard, so yeah, if only you could smell that. It's just to die for. Yeah. So where's my lid for that? I don't want to spill that. I start by processing some of this cedar bark, and I'm just gonna find a small piece. Okay, here's a small piece. And I don't know if you remember yesterday, I was showing you the fibers that are present on the bark itself. You can see them in there. So essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to, my knife is dirty from yesterday still. I'm going to give you a warning about using your knife for striking your ferro rod. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of burn right there, and I think that's from shooting embers. So basically, I'm going to take my ferro rod, or my knife, and I'm going to scrape this back of this, and you can see I'm getting these really fine fibers. Okay. Sorry if you can hear my sump pump in the background. It is pouring rain today. So you're just going to scrape the inside of this bark, and you're going to make like a hole. It takes a bit. You can see you get a bit of a fuzz there, like so. And let's put this in my little kitty cat ashtray here. My ferro rod, and I'm just gonna stand up for this. So, see, that took a spark. I don't want to get too much smoke in my house here, but that took a spark. So that's the red cedar bark, and you can scrape as much or as little as you need. And it really doesn't take much time to process. As you can see, I'm using the back of my spine, or the spine of my knife here, and it's getting the same result. It's getting this nice fluffy furry tinder. So of course, with a bit of practice, you could really probably get pretty good at it, and if you had a larger piece, it would also be probably much quicker too. So as you can see, I've quickly got a little pile of dry tinder, and you saw yesterday what that came out of. Next we'll look at some of this fat wood. So this is actually quite excessive amount of this isn't even really fat wood. This is more just a pitch piece. I mean, there is some wood impregnate. There is some wood in there. Let's see if I got a better piece. It's more woody. See, that piece is a little more woody. So same thing with making. You can scrape it. Kitty cat ashtray. See some of that fine shavings still attached. Get off there, you little sucker. And you will see, I'm pretty certain this will go pretty easily too. Try to find the center of the camera here. Ooh, way over there. Well, let's just tilt this way, because I want you to be able to see the result of the spark hitting it. String this over just up there. I can't even hit it with the spark today. So as you're seeing, I mean, I'm smelling it burn, but as you see, it's not as quite as good as that cedar bark was. just gotta hit it in the right spot, I suppose. But, yeah, so the fat wood's gonna be easy to get that put out right away. So that's some of the fat wood. You know, you can break this down into tiny little pieces. I mean, just that little piece right there should be enough to probably start a few fires. You can definitely keep that in your pocket, and you know, it's not totally waterproof, but it's fairly, even if it was wet. And here's some more of it. You can see it's got a large amount of pitch on there. You see that coming right off. So that's obviously what you're trying to burn. Here's my little jar right here. Put it in there. And then we have the punk wood. So if you look closely, you can see like the tree is completely degraded into basically like paperous fibers. So, you know, this, yeah, here's some more of it. You can look through it, and like you can make dust out of this pretty easily. So how I would do this would be, let's move this out of the way. I would simply just put some of this in my hand, and you know, this would be probably better suited for a non-spark fire. You know, like if you're trying to get an ember going or something. I mean, I can feel how dry that is. Really, really dry material. And even though you know it's been sitting in the forest for a couple hundred years in the rain, literally, I am certain that would, if you put your coal into that pile, it would probably easily ignite. Now, I don't know, is this something you're going to use? Let's see, let's put some of this inside here. I just don't want to burn my table. It's basically what I don't want to do. It's plastic, so. But yeah, you need to take your that pitch smells delicious. And let's try it. Actually, I'm gonna use my knife. Try dropping. I mean, I think if you use this in a like for an ember, to build an ember, so if that was an ember, just char a little bit of it. So we'll just char a little bit of it and just make like an imaginary ember. You can see that's going to go out, but you can see it's holding the coal for a second. Yeah, see if it went out finally. Let's just replicate an ember. Okay, so we'll pretend that that's your ember. So it holds it for a second, but you know, I wouldn't put that over top of this. So if you would get this going, this cedar shavings, right? Get these cedar shavings going, and then you could build it up with some of this fluff or some of this fat wood in combination. So I think that's the trick, is to really, when you're looking for this wet weather tinder, you really have to be prepared to experiment with different materials, possibly a combination of materials. You can also tear this stuff down into like little pieces, such as, you know, just keep, the more you process it and, you know, make it finer and finer and tear it apart. And, you know, lots of times I like to stab it with my knife tip and pull it through, and then that way it splits it kind of. You see? Get these little tiny little shavings. Sometimes you can pull them apart the other way. And the finer you get this material, I mean, if it's piss and rain, it's going to be difficult to do this and keep these pieces dry. So you really have to, I don't know, you have to think about it. You have to practice it. I think practicing is probably going to be the most important aspect of this, is because if you're doing this for the first time, you're going to be all, you know, you're not going to be as quick or as efficient as you may need to be, especially if it's raining. I mean, I didn't include the clip yesterday in the video, but when I was harvesting this cedar bark, even just sitting by the tree, finishing pulling off the pieces, the first piece I'd pulled was already getting quite wet from the rainfall. So, you know, little pieces like that, for example, that's going to burn fairly easily, and you have enough of that on a fire, it's definitely going to burn. So I think the winner from yesterday was probably this red cedar bark, because like I said, it's quite easy to process, especially, I mean, I bet you could probably do it even with a rock, but you know, you just that scraping action. And you're getting that really great tinder material right there. So that's essentially what we are trying to do with this, and yeah. So I'm not going to do a Bojo fire today. It is literally raining cats and dogs outside. It is, you can hear my sump pump kicking in. That's because it's pouring in through my foundation. It is just really raining hard today. So I thought it'd be a good chance to come down to my little basement here and play with some of this stuff. My wife's at work, so she won't smell the burning materials in the house. So anyways, stay dirty, stay dusty, stay in the bush. Thanks.